Hello, welcome to my channel. Let's begin the legendary story of Robin Hood. Robin Hood and Sherwood Forest. A long time ago, in England, there was a great forest called Sherwood. The forest was full of tall trees, birds, and animals. It was also full of secrets. In this forest lived a man named Robin Hood. He was strong, fast, and very clever. People say he was the best archer in the land. His arrows always hit the target. Robin Hood was not a rich man. He did not live in a big house or a castle. He lived in the forest with his friends. They were called merry men. Robin and his men wore green clothes, so they could hide between the trees. At that time, life was hard for poor people. The Sheriff of Nottingham, a cruel man, took money and food from them. The poor people were hungry and sad. But Robin Hood became their hero. He had one rule: take from the rich, give to the poor. This is why people loved him. Before he was an outlaw, Robin was just a young man. He lived in a small village near the forest. Robin was brave and kind. He always helped his neighbors. If an old man needed wood, Robin carried it. If a child was hungry, Robin shared his bread. From a young age, Robin learned to use a bow and arrow. He practiced every day. His arrows flew fast and strong. Soon, everyone in the village knew he was the best archer. But Robin also saw how unfair the world was. Rich lords had big houses and full tables. Poor people had almost nothing. Robin began to hate this injustice. He wanted to change things. One day, something happened that changed Robin's life forever. The Sheriff of Nottingham. In the town of Nottingham lived the sheriff. He was a very powerful man. The sheriff did not care about poor people. He only wanted more gold and more land. He took high taxes from farmers. If they could not pay, he took their animals or their houses. The sheriff had many soldiers. They wore armor and carried swords. They followed the sheriff's orders without question. The people of Nottingham were afraid of him. The sheriff hated Robin Hood. He said, "This man is a thief. He must be caught." But the people did not agree. They whispered to each other, "Robin is our friend. He helps us." The sheriff became angry when he heard this. He promised he would find Robin and put him in prison. One day, Robin was walking in the forest. He met some soldiers of the sheriff. They wanted to arrest him, even though he had done nothing wrong. Robin defended himself. With his bow and arrow, he fought bravely. The soldiers were afraid and ran away. But the sheriff heard about this fight. He declared, "Robin Hood is now an outlaw." That meant Robin could not return to his village. If anyone helped him, they could also be punished. Robin was sad, but he was also strong. He decided to live in Sherwood Forest. There, he would be free. Slowly, other men joined him. They were poor farmers, workers, and good men who wanted justice. Together, they became Robin's merry men. From that day, Robin Hood was not just a young man. He became a legend. Life in the forest. Life in Sherwood Forest was not easy, but Robin and his merry men were happy. They built small huts from wood and leaves. They cooked food on big fires. They hunted deer and rabbits, and they ate berries and bread. Every day, Robin and his men trained with bows and arrows. They wanted to be fast and strong. They also learned to move quietly through the forest. This way, they could surprise the sheriff's soldiers. But life in the forest was not only about fighting. At night, the men sang songs and told stories. They laughed together and felt free. Robin said, "Here in the forest, we live like brothers. We share everything." The people from the nearby villages came to Sherwood too. They asked Robin for help. If a farmer lost his money to the sheriff, Robin gave him food. If a family had no wood for winter, Robin's men brought them firewood. The forest became a place of hope. Poor people loved Robin more and more. But the sheriff became more angry every day. One summer morning, Robin walked near a river. There was a long, narrow bridge made of wood. On the bridge, he saw a very tall man. The man carried a big staff, a long stick for fighting. Robin said, "Let me pass." The tall man said, "No, you go back. I was here first." Robin smiled. "Then let us fight. If I win, I pass. If you win, I go back." They both fought with their staffs. Robin was fast, but the tall man was very strong. After a long fight, the tall man pushed Robin into the river. Splash! Robin laughed and climbed out of the water. "You are strong," said Robin. "What is your name?" "My name is John," the man answered. From that day, he was called Little John, because he was very tall, not little at all. Robin and Little John became best friends. Little John joined the merry men, and together they protected the forest. Robin meets Friar Tuck. One sunny afternoon, Robin walked near the river again. He saw a fat man wearing a brown robe. The man carried no sword, only a walking stick. He looked like a monk. Robin called, "Good day, friar. Will you carry me across the river? My boots are wet." The friar laughed. "I am not a horse, but very well. Climb on my back." Robin climbed on the friar's back. Halfway across the river, the friar stopped. Then, with a big laugh, he dropped Robin into the water. Splash! Robin came out, wet and surprised. "You are a strong friar," Robin said. "But let us fight." The friar took out his stick, and they fought. Robin was fast, but the friar was clever. In the end, they both grew tired and began to laugh. Robin said, "I like you. Come with me to the forest. Join my merry men." The friar agreed. His name was Friar Tuck, and he became a loyal friend. He was funny, brave, and very good with a sword. The sheriff of Nottingham continued to take money from the poor. Families had no bread, and children were hungry. But Robin and his merry men had a plan. They waited on the forest roads. When a rich lord or merchant passed with gold, Robin stopped them. "Good sir," he said politely, "the poor people need your help. Leave some gold here." The rich men were angry, but Robin's men were many, and their arrows were fast. They had no choice. Robin always took only part of the money, never all. He gave the rest back, saying, "Travel safely." At night, Robin and his men gave the gold to poor families. They brought food, clothes, and wood for the winter. The people of Nottingham smiled again. They said, "Robin Hood is our hero. He gives us hope." The sheriff heard these stories and grew more furious. He shouted, "I must catch this outlaw, or I will lose all my power." The sheriff's first trap. The sheriff of Nottingham wanted to catch Robin Hood. He made a plan. "I will put gold in the forest. Robin cannot resist it," he said. The sheriff placed a bag of gold on the forest road. Then he hid his soldiers nearby. He waited for Robin to come. Robin saw the gold bag. But he was clever. He looked around and noticed the soldiers hiding behind trees. "This is a trap," Robin whispered to Little John. Robin and his men used their bows and arrows. They fought the soldiers quickly. The sheriff's men ran away. Robin took the gold and gave it to the poor families. The sheriff was very angry. "This is impossible. How does he always win?" he shouted. But Robin and his merry men celebrated. They laughed and sang in the forest. One day, the sheriff organized a big archery contest in Nottingham. The prize was a gold medal and a bag of gold. Every archer in the town came to the contest. Robin decided to join, but he wore a disguise. He dressed as a poor man with a brown hat and old clothes. Nobody knew it was him. Robin shot his arrows. One by one, they hit the center of the target. The crowd gasped. Nobody had ever seen such perfect shooting. The sheriff was angry but had to give the prize to Robin. Robin smiled, took the medal, and left quietly. Later, he gave the medal and gold to the poor families in the village. The people cheered for Robin Hood. He became even more famous. Robin in disguise. Robin Hood was very clever. He often wore different clothes to hide from the sheriff. Sometimes he dressed as an old man, sometimes as a merchant, and sometimes as a beggar. With these disguises, Robin could enter Nottingham without being caught. He could see the sheriff's plans and help the poor secretly. One day, Robin dressed as a nobleman. He went to the castle and spoke to the sheriff. "Good day, sir," he said. The sheriff did not recognize him. Robin smiled and left, taking information about the sheriff's new trap. Robin's disguises made him almost impossible to catch. The people said, "He is like a shadow in the forest. We never see him, but he is always helping us." Robin Hood had a friend and love named Maid Marian. She was kind, brave, and very clever. She often wore green clothes to visit Robin in the forest. Maid Marian helped Robin plan tricks against the sheriff. She also taught the poor people how to protect themselves. Robin and Marian loved each other very much. Sometimes, Maid Marian came to the forest in disguise. Nobody knew it was her. She laughed with Robin and the merry men. Robin said, "With you, everything is better. You are my heart, Marian." Maid Marian also wanted justice for the poor. She admired Robin's courage. Together, they became a strong team, fighting for the people of Nottingham. Robin and the sheriff's men. The sheriff sent his men to capture Robin Hood many times. They were strong soldiers, but Robin was clever. He always planned traps for them. One day, the sheriff's men entered the forest. Robin and his merry men waited quietly. When the soldiers walked into the trap, Robin and his men surrounded them. They did not hurt them much, only scared them and took their weapons. The soldiers ran back to the sheriff and told him everything. "Robin Hood is too clever," they said. The sheriff became very angry. He tried again and again, but Robin always escaped. The people of Nottingham watched and laughed. They said, "The sheriff cannot win. Robin Hood protects us." At that time, King Richard returned to England. He was a kind and just king. He heard stories about Robin Hood. Some people called him a thief, but many people called him a hero. King Richard decided to visit Nottingham in disguise. He wanted to see the truth about Robin Hood. When he met Robin, he smiled. "You are brave and kind," said the king. "You help the people when the sheriff is cruel. You fight for justice." Robin was surprised. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only want to help the poor." The king promised to protect Robin Hood and the people. He also told the sheriff to stop taking too much money from the poor. Robin saves his men. One day, the sheriff planned a trap to catch all of Robin's merry men. He surrounded the forest with soldiers. Robin and his friends were in danger. Robin thought quickly. He led his men through secret paths in the forest. They climbed trees, crossed rivers, and hid in caves. The soldiers could not follow them. Robin also set small traps for the soldiers. They fell into mud, got wet, and were very tired. At last, Robin and his men escaped safely. After that, the merry men praised Robin. "You saved us again, Robin. You are our leader and our hero," they said. The poor people of Nottingham loved Robin Hood very much. He gave them food, gold, and hope. Children ran to the forest to see him. Families thanked him for helping them. Even rich people began to respect him. They knew Robin was brave and fair. Robin never took more than he needed. He always shared with others. The sheriff became more angry every day. How can one man always win? How can he help so many people? He shouted. Robin Hood became a symbol of justice. People said, as long as Robin Hood is in Sherwood Forest, the poor are safe, and the sheriff cannot rule us with cruelty. The sheriff's last trick. The sheriff of Nottingham was very angry. He made one last big plan to catch Robin Hood. He invited Robin to a peace meeting in the town. The sheriff said, "Let us talk and be friends." Robin knew it might be a trap, but he wanted to save the poor people from more trouble. He went to the meeting in disguise. When Robin arrived, the sheriff's men tried to catch him. But Robin was clever. He used secret doors and hidden paths in the castle. With the help of his merry men, Robin escaped again. The sheriff was defeated. He realized he could never catch Robin Hood. No matter what plan he made, Robin was always faster and smarter. After many adventures, Robin and Maid Marian were happy together. They loved each other deeply. Marian often joined Robin in the forest, helping the poor and planning tricks for the sheriff. Robin and Marian dreamed of a peaceful life. They wanted to live without fear. The merry men continued to help Robin, and the forest remained safe. People said, Robin Hood and Maid Marian are heroes. They are brave, kind, and fair. They fight for justice and help the poor. Robin and Marian became a symbol of love, courage, and hope in Nottingham. The end of the outlaw days. King Richard made a new law. He said, Robin Hood and his merry men have done great things for the people. They are free and will not be punished. Robin and his friends could leave the forest if they wanted. Some chose to stay, but many returned to their villages. They could now live safely and continue helping others. The sheriff of Nottingham was told to be fair. He could no longer take too much from the poor. Robin smiled. Justice has returned, he said. Robin Hood became a legend. People told stories about him for many years. They said he was brave, clever, and kind. He helped the poor and protected the forest. Children dreamed of becoming like Robin Hood. They wanted to be heroes and help others. Maid Marian, Robin, and the merry men lived in the hearts of the people forever. Even today, people remember Robin Hood. They say, as long as we tell his story, courage and justice will never die. Yes, we have come to the end of another nice story. If you liked our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to be informed about new stories.